Let me go ahead and get this introduction. Okay, I think we're live. Hello, everyone. This is Chase's vocal range. I know I really didn't expect to do a live stream on this channel. I would do it on the Mike the Red Engine channel, but I don't upload it there anymore. So today I'm joined with a very special guest. 20. Thank you, phone. If you heard that, I'm sorry. Okay, we're live. Okay, it just letting me know. I'm joined with a good friend. Well, very good friend that I've not trying to toot my own horn, but I've known him. 22 Tesla. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. It is I.
Yes, it is him, the legend. No, not legend, but he's
the legend returns.
Yes, and he's
after
the one
months
that
of
actually,
silence.
He's actually the one that uploaded those audio dramas that we all loved.
Yep.
So I've got some questions that we're going to be asking. Well, we're going to be asking each other.
Yeah.
Give me one sec. Okay.
Right.
So very quick. Oh, we already got one person watching. Let me go to the comments. Okay, just double check. Okay. So the first question, which I'm going to ask myself after I ask you, is what steps are crucial to your main hobby? Like 3D modeling or something, or actual like fixing, like making.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I guess crucial steps. I guess it's having the interest to really get started in the first place. When you get into the moment when your interest is really high and you got the energy and you're like, yeah, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to start on this and get this going. Yeah, that's kind of like one crucial step, at least for me, because when you're busy, it's kind of sometimes hard to get the motivation to do so. Motivation is key. And after that, I would say learning different steps and different aspects that you've never known before. Like for me, I've had to learn like different aspects like painting and modeling, at least in 3D, and using different aspects of 3D. Like some of my models I model on Tinkercad, and some models I model using Blender. And Blender is an entirely different thing to Tinkercad, and Tinkercad has its own limitations. So
yeah, I heard about Tinkercad. I think from Luke Talon. I think he mentioned that a few times.
Yeah, Tinkercad works good, but it's got its limitations. Like after you've like removed a certain amount of material, like by just erasing material, it just then becomes unwieldy and problematic. But yeah, everything's a learning process, and I guess one last thing is to really have the drive to want to learn better, to learn new skills, to increase your range. Like I guess that's it.
Okay. Well, for me, for my main hobby, voice acting or doing voices, like for you, when I had to record lines, I would do them the best I can. Like I would make sure there's no background noises. If the fan was on, the not the ceiling fan, but any background noise, I would make sure to turn it off. And yeah, I would always make sure to like do the me or something like that.
Yeah, you know what you mean.
I would always prepare, and then I would always make sure like and then I would just get ready, and then I would do a few of the lines, and then play them back over, and then I'd say, okay, does this work? Does that work? Okay, let's do it. Sorry, damn dogs. Then I would make sure, okay, this works, but let's do the next line. I'd move on, and then I'd take a break. I'd have some water, and then I'd get back to the lines. It takes a little bit for me to get perfect. At least in the moment.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not easy to do these lines, especially if I need to be I need to do some sort of voice. Like some sort of voice that really needs to be in character.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like not easy.
Some lines are harder than others. Like you've heard on my audio things, when I'm trying to sound like James, I do not sound like James at all.
Yeah, but hey, it's okay. You're doing the best you can.
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you, especially when you have to be emotional during the lines. Like I think, which I don't know which one it was. I think it was either Tunnel Vision for yours. I think so. Where I had to sound like very very cold and cold hearted or something.
It might have been that. Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
was the
where I was,
one where I was like the very coldest lines. Your lines as
yeah, but
Afton weren't cold,
you loved
but
it.
yeah,
You loved it when I sent the lines to you because you thought, oh, this
yeah,
could work.
yeah, because it was perfect. It really set the tone.
It did. And for also, I didn't know that my microphone would have some static to it. I was like, what the hell? But you said it worked. So
Well, yeah, it hints that this guy is not exactly here. Like, he's
yeah.
just a figment of the imagination or something.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty. Let's move on to the next question. Are there any regrets within your hobby that you wish you can go back and redo?
Regrets within my hobby that I wish I could undo. Let
Either
me
small
think.
or big. Doesn't really matter.
I don't really think I have many as far as, regrets. Like a lot of my models seem to work fine. Uh,
Okay.
hmm. I
Maybe it
guess the
could.
only regret there's one regret that I kind of might have, but it's a very minor one. But
That's okay.
I guess it was this, like when I was first starting modeling, the first thing I was trying to model was Daisy, the diesel rail car, and that was a struggle to try and get to print to look right, and then it was a struggle trying to get a test print out of Shapeways. And this was back then when Shapeways had like the extruder printer that it looked like a regular printer. It
Oh
really
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
look that great. They don't offer that option anymore.
That's
But the
okay.
option, but when they printed it, it didn't look great. So I'm like, oh great, I gotta go back and try again. And then like, oh crap, they don't have that option available anymore. Now I have to go find the next available option, and I used sandstone. And I'm like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And I dropped it, and it shattered.
Oh. Oh wow.
So I was trying to glue it back together, and I was just so frustrated. Then I'm like, oh, forget it. I'll move on to something else and come back to this later.
Yeah.
And then Bachman announces, hey, we're releasing Daisy, and I'm like, you wasted all my time. I could have just waited a couple years. Ugh.
Oy, that would piss me off. um,
Yeah.
for me, within my hobby, I wish I could. For the regrets that I have, I wish I can get into animation or not animation, but 3D modeling like you do, or maybe just official modeling for trains. Do my own work. That's what I do regret. I still have the chance, but it's just it's not easy for me to stick with something because one, I'm not saying I have the highest motivation or self-esteem or confidence. I'm not saying that at all, but I do have, again, limitations within it that I can't really stick with something that I want to enjoy or keep doing. It takes time for me to get used to it. Voice acting, and doing all this was really, really difficult for me to get into. I mean, it wasn't not that difficult, but it was like, okay, gotta stick with it. Gotta stick with it. So I mean,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
it was good. It was good to get into it because one, I wanted to do some more things like, I don't know, make yay, excuse me. I wanted to do like my own work, my own art for my engines. But I never did because I could never stick with it. And I was in high school at the time. So, hey,
Yeah. And so that actually got me thinking about something else. I guess one thing when it comes to my modeling is I'm not sure which I want to do. Like, I mean, I've seen a lot of people doing great stuff with trains, and I'm like, wow, this is so easy. They don't have to buy physical models. They can just, download it and then record it
yeah,
and it's done. And I'm like, I have these physical models on this tiny little table, and I'm trying to do that all myself. And I'm like, why did I do this?
hey, you
It's
still have that choice. I mean, some models within trains you have to buy, not a crap ton of them. Some of them, because you
Yeah,
don't
I
find
know,
them on
but
television. But it's still
yeah, I
good.
know. Trains looks good. It's just the only limitations is the crashes.
Yeah.
Like you could see that, especially with like certain like beginning shots, like Shunter Productions and his Ghost Stories. Like all of a sudden,
Oh yeah.
an orange X just appears over a train car that's derailed. I'm like, "Ooh."
Oh, that was the
that
old. That was, I think, the old versions. Now,
well, that's the old one. Probably doesn't do that now, but it doesn't look that great.
well, Tane trains a new era in 2019. In Trains 2019, I think they have a point where you can set up crash sets.
Yeah, I've seen some people do some crashes where they just have like an invisible track that goes sideways, so the train just tips over. So it looks like a crash. I'm like, okay, that looks pretty good. And
Maybe
some
for
of
the
Victor
Flying
Tanzig's
Kipper.
crashes look pretty good.
Maybe for the Flying Kipper, like where Henry's accident happened. That's basic.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll ever get around to creating assets that crash and smash. Like they only have like Scruffy falling apart, but like
Yeah.
freight cars getting squashed
Yeah.
instead of getting squashed instead of just clipping through themselves.
That's true. I'm coming apart. I love Scruffy.
Yeah.
Oh, pass the wood to the others. I can't do Scruffy to save my life. I can't. Alrighty.
Yeah, Scruffy requires a little finessing.
Oh yeah, but hey, anything's possible. Alrighty.
Yep.
Next question. Thanks, train. I live right next to the train tracks. I apologize.
You live right next to the train tracks? So do I.
Well,
I've been hearing
about
them
a few
blow their
streets-
whistles ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah, a few streets away, but still I hear it. Is there any hobby you'd like to divulge deeper into?
Like what? Like how do you mean?
Like I don't know, either with that's somewhat within something similar, or you want to take a break from like 3D modeling and take like use your other time use your
Like use my
other
other talents somewhere else.
yeah, or use your other time wisely.
Well, I kind of already try to balance my time between all my different interests and hobbies, but one hobby I would really like to get back into, but I just don't have the time yet because I don't have the equipment, is 2D animation. I did a 2D animation once. It's on my channel somewhere, Left in Stitches. I worked on that for an entire semester when I was at my community college down here. And I loved it, and I would like to get back into it, but I don't have the computer and I don't have the program. So, well, that's one thing I'd like to get into. Otherwise, I kind of balance my time more or less between 3D modeling, printing, and then writing. Writing. I guess another one I would like to try and get back into is actually filming stuff because, as you probably have seen, I haven't done anything for the past 2 months, almost 2 months at least, of this new year. I'd like to get back into that.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, for me, again, I wish I can either get in, like, besides doing this, like trains and everything and voice acting, I wish I can get into animation and stuff. Like, I have Adobe Animate. I have Adobe Animate on my computer, but I have to get a drawing tablet to do stuff because I already have a script and everything written for a little funny comedy sketch. And I call it, let me pull it up on my phone again. I have it, and it's called, I'm probably got to change the name, but it's called The Deadly Burrito. And I just two stick guys, maybe with faces or something. Basically, it's about a guy with a bean allergy, and his face starts to break out immediately after eating a burrito with beans in it, and of course the stupid little cheek poke at the end is like the guy who doesn't have knowledge of the guy's allergy is like has a smug look on his face like whoops, and he shrugs his shoulders, and it's like a oh damn it type of thing. I know it sounds silly, but it's actually something I would love to do. Maybe get it out of the way.
Yeah, sounds nice. I've actually got ideas for I've actually got ideas for animated movies, or I guess you could say short movies, since I'm not a studio, and I don't think a studio would be interested. They'd probably just buy my script and say, yeah, we'll make it, and then they'll just sit on a shelf and they'll never touch it, just because they can keep it away from everyone else.
Then when they do make it, they don't credit you. They don't give you the money. They don't pay you.
Well, either they credit me and they ruin it, and then after that, who wants to get a script by me?
Because that's true.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh yeah, your last film was a flop. I had nothing to do with that. Well, who cares? You're still terrible. We're not going to hire you. Goodbye.
Yeah, that would piss me off. Anyway, that would really piss me off. I think there's another hobby I'd like to get into is maybe either 2D or 2D animation or 3D animation. I don't know. But you never know, because I do want to start maybe getting into official animation, like into Blender.
Oh yeah, I've seen that Blender can do animation, but I don't think my laptop can handle it. And well, 3D animation for me, it's like it looks nice, but my heart has always been stuck with 2D because
that's okay. Hey, it still works.
I mean, CGI is pretty good. I mean, you've seen what people can do with it, like all the films that we get made. It looks really beautiful, depending, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depending who's modeling.
That's true.
Yeah. Sonic, I'm looking at you.
There's another hobby I like to get into. I know I'm going over this, but there's another hobby I like to get into. Maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's film, like official actual filmmaking. Like try because I have an idea which I'll pitch to you later because it's actually a little too gory, or idea a little gory for live stream, so I'll tell you later. Or if you can go to the private channel, I'll tell you.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing those because a lot of people do short little films and everything.
Yeah, just got to find the time and get some of the equipment to do so. Otherwise, it's still just a dream.
That's
and
true.
Of course, gotta write the script, of course, which is gonna take a long time.
That's true.
Yeah, I have this story that I've actually been working on for the past 2 years or something, since 2018. That's when I actually fully started, and it's still been stuck in its writing phase. So that's, I guess, something else I'd like to work on eventually, or get more work done.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, if you got to write a script, take your time on it. Don't rush it.
Yeah, because we've seen what happens when people rush scripts.
Yeah. So here is the thing. All right, private chat. There it is. Who? Okay, Mr. Duckerbus. Hello. He says hello. Well, and just to let everyone know, no one else can join because this is a basic little stream for me and Tesla here. Again, apologies to everybody. This is just kind of a live stream for asking questions. That's it. So, alrighty, next question. This one you might like. What is your favorite UK railway locomotive / wheelbase?
Favorite UK locomotive / wheelbase? I think my favorite is Oliver, mostly because I guess of his story, and because, well, I think Thomas I, Edward II, Henry III pointed out that his model looks like, quote, the most realistic of the TV series. And I can see that for certain. He's the most beautifully done, and plus, I like his scrap look. So I guess Oliver's my favorite. James is also my favorite, I guess, because he's fabulous in that bright red paint that literally no other railway has, or no engine has that I've seen. At least not in the classic series.
Oh, we got another question. What's your best characters to perform in other Thomas projects? Well, for mine, Mr. Deckerbus, it is either Scar Louis, which of course you hear right now, or an evil character. Which, what do you think right now? Come on, buddy, give me all your projects. Come on. It's not easy to do that voice because it hurts my throat.
You sounded a little bit like Masters of Lemon's scruffy voice there for a sec.
Hold back! Come on, let's get this prick out of here. It hurts to do that voice. Oh,
come on, Ollie, come on. I'm just scruffy.
That's true. My favorite locomotive, British Railway locomotive, is a GER Class Y14 or an LNER J15 because it's an 060.
A J15. What is that one? A tender engine or a tank engine?
It's a tender engine. Yeah, they served in World War One. They served 43 of them served in France and Belgium.
Oh, right. Ooh.
Yeah, this one. There's only one preserved, and the remainder are scrapped. That's how sad.
That's such a shame. That's kind of a bummer thing, I guess, with British Railways. Is like a lot of unique stuff never really survives. Like the Garretts don't survive. Big Bertha doesn't survive. Like, why not?
I don't know. Oh, there was one engine. I think. There was one. I think it was I forgot what it was. There was most of the A1, I think A1s, or A3s.
It could have been either one.
Tornado, man. He's a peppercorn class. That one's beautiful. That one's also my favorite. He's a 462.
Yeah.
He is beautiful.
Yeah. And actually, thinking back on favorite railway classes, I think at least when it comes to another tank engine, I think my other favorite is the LBNSCR E4 class. I mean, it's a beautiful locomotive. It's kind of Thomas, but bigger, bigger tank engine.
Yeah. Now for me, if anyone else doesn't know this, I have a blue peppercorn tornado model, but I'm not going to turn on my camera and show it because not today. Next time. What? Okay, Mr. Deckerbus. Okay, what fan series do you think you are the best in the Thomas fandom? Okay, I wouldn't say the best. I wouldn't say best. Let's not put words in our mouths, but let's just. I'm gonna probably say that I'm good, but I'm not saying I'm the best. Maybe one of my Irish or Scottish accents. I don't know. But I don't really know which one. Like, I don't really know because hell, maybe it could be for Tesla's work here where I did one of my Irish accents. What was it? Who was it? Alden? Afton. For Afton.
Yeah. Afton's voice. You were perfect in that, I think.
Yes. I don't know where the hell I got Alden from. My bad. Afton.
Well, it's not exactly a common name.
No, it's not. But I think I did pretty good, and everyone else loved it. Some guy said I sounded like Sea Rogue from Tugs.
I can't really see that. I don't know. I don't think so.
Maybe if I switch my voice a little bit. I don't know. So, alrighty. One sec, I'm checking something. Alrighty. All right. Next question. We need to move on. It was already did like 10 minutes into that one. Your personal love and hates of your hobby. Pros and cons, basically.
Personal pros and cons of my hobby. Let me see. At least for my hobby, one con I can certainly say is not getting the model right the first time. Like I've tried to create some stuff at first, and and I got the scaling wrong. Like that detail finish outside one of the outside with the station for I don't know, I don't remember which harbor it is, maybe Knapford Harbor, but it was this little finish detail that's on the outside before the canopies. I tried to get that printed by Shapeways, and I printed out the wrong size, and it was way too small. It looks like a little fence piece instead of a massive piece of a building. And then, of course, later I found out, oh wait, if I actually scale this up to the way I wanted it to, it'll cost me a fortune, and it will literally not be it will literally not be possible to sell.
That's crazy.
But yeah, yeah, and
what is the thing you love?
One thing I love about it, well, creating new stuff, especially when people like it. They're like, "Oh, that looks so cool! Can I buy it? Where can I get it from? Where's the STL file?" Like, especially for like, say, Hector. A lot of people have been asking, like, "When's it gonna be? Can I get the file for it and all that stuff?" And
I saw that. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
keep away.
Keep away. Yeah, that's certainly the pro for it. When people love what you do and they want to see more of it. That it helps inspire you to do more.
Yeah, it does. That's how hobbies work. For me, one thing I love about my hobby is I get to be creative with my voices. I get to okay. It's the only time I'm going to turn on my camera for everyone to see how I make up my voices. Pull my microphone here. How I do my voices sometimes is, don't try this at home, please. I do this. And then to my throat, I did this a few times. Come on, it's time to go. Come on. As you can see, I choked myself. Don't do that, please. It doesn't feel good. But as you heard, my voice. What does it sound like, Tesla?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure a lot of voice actors actually kind of do something similar to that to, like, get the voices, like,
Yeah, but what did that sound like right there? What did it sound
there are some like? There are just some elements you just can't fake without doing something.
There was one guy, I think that for the Saints Row Get Out of Hell, he had to do that to his nose, and he sounded like a choking demon in a way. I don't remember what voice actor did it, but everyone was like, "Whoa, do that! We love that." So everyone loved it. He was just so amazing. Like, come on, we must pretend, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not the best when it comes to it, but I'm definitely not the worst. Same as someone we know and hate, which, hold on. I message you. Someone we don't like.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
saying?
This.
I want to say I know who you're talking about, but I don't want to say their name.
No, I messaged it to you there in the private.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's gone. We don't have to worry about him, so that's good.
Well, that's good. I don't want to deal with him when I start opening up auditions for Tales from the Scarab Sighting #2.
Nice. I'm going to be excited for that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Alrighty. And there's one thing I hate about my hobby. The noise. The pardon my language, but fucking noise. Either it's my cat, Oliver, sneezing. That's one thing I can deal with. But if it's people, because I don't live in the best area. And I'm not going to say where, but I don't live in the best neighborhood. But I don't live in the worst neighborhood. There's people arguing. There's lots of people fist fighting. There's swear words being thrown out, and I have to worry about that. Or there's sirens going around. It's not easy to deal with the noise. And plus the noise inside the house, where it's damn chair or the fans. I have to turn everything off and do the voices, which I can.
Oh yeah, I know that problem. That's another problem that I have. It's either the air conditioner's on, the fan's on. I don't want to talk too loud because I don't want my dad to hear, just because I'm a very private person. Or if I go outside to my shed where I record, I have to deal with, you can hear the highway noise, you can hear sirens, you can hear the train going by. My dog barks sometimes because she just like, bark, bark, bark. I want to make some noise because I think I can hear you talking.
Barks for no reason.
Either barks for no reason or she's just excited because she can hear me talking. So she's like, "Oh, a friend here. Bark, bark, bark. Please give me attention."
Exactly.
I don't know. Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. I love my hobby. But there's just some stuff I don't like to do within it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's always a little hiccup here and there, especially when you're doing this not professionally and you're doing this in your home. So,
Yeah.
well,
I mean, I started
yeah,
doing this back in 2016, 2017.
all right,
And
quite a while then.
yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. I have a blue I had a blue snowball mic that I started out with. And I
Cool.
worked my way up. I had the blue snowball for a little bit, and then I moved up to a Razer Siren microphone. Then I moved up to a Rode NT USB microphone, which is actually a really, really beautiful microphone. It's actually just a
Cool.
USB mic. But let me tell you, that mic was amazing. It's about $170, but it works. It's great.
Well, I'm glad some mics are found. Some mics are good. I went through like 2 mics, and I'm like, okay, forget it. I'm just gonna use the camera instead.
Apologies.
And so that's actually how I record a lot of my audio. I just run the camera, I record my lines, and then I just rip the audio from the camera footage. It works.
Sorry about that. I received a text. I apologize.
It's all right.
Yeah, everyone who heard that, apologies. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna put my phone on silent. Let's just do that. Just in
Something
case.
something to learn for next stream.
Yeah,
that
that's
is.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. You'll hear vibrating, but you won't hear who it is. Everyone out there, not just you. Okay. And last question, which hopefully we can make this. We can stretch it for another 10 minutes. So that'll be like a 45-minute stream, which is good. This is actually longer than I've ever streamed before. What is your favorite? What is your favorite part of model making / model creations?
My favorite part about model making / model creating. Let's see. Well, I guess the most exciting part about it is creating something that didn't exist. Like, it started out with like just a pile of cardboard or just a regular cube in Tinkercad that, it doesn't have any definition to it. And after some time and after a lot of work finessing it and making it look good, eventually you've created something that before didn't exist and now it exists. Like I guess the end result of creation and the whole step that it takes to get there. Like, that's kind of like the most rewarding thing I think you could say from model making / creating. Like, the whole process is like you're creating something from nothing, and by the end, hopefully, you'll have something you're mostly proud of at the end.
That's very true. I mean, for me with my creations, let's just say for not model making, but
yeah,
maybe for character creations. Like, for me, I love giving my characters different background information, different skills and abilities. Now, everyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, I've created mythical characters. Now, I won't go into some of them because some of them are private, but some of them I will share. I've created a world. I've created a mythical world where it's, of course, kind of takes its inspiration of World of Warcraft, except my world is slightly different. And I'm not trying to copy World of Warcraft, just some of the beings there. But of course, everything's free to copy. Everything's free to use, as long as you're not using the actual names from the characters. But I think character creations are fun to do because, one, you can go all out. You can have fun. You just don't want to go super crazy detailed with it because you don't want them to be the most perfect thing in the world or too perfect. Because you don't want to show your ass.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, when it comes to character creation, for me, it's always like, okay, make sure they're not too overpowered because we don't want another Mary Sue or Gary Stu here. Because when I first started out creating characters, when I started creating fanfics, I was like, oh boy, people don't like me because I got that. Oh yeah.
I remember that. I think you did a Wallace and Gromit one.
Well, yeah, I've created that, but yeah. Spoiler alert here for me. I am partially a brony. So I
That's
created
okay.
my own. I created my own OC for that, and stupidly, I created the most overpowered one that was like so perfect, and interacting with all the characters. And I'm like, a lot of people didn't like that. I'm like, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not
here's my
perfect.
good friend Jason. Jason, what's up, buddy? This is of course, Jason, you know who this is. 22 Tesla. Jason's actually been a
Hello.
buddy of mine for God, ever since 2014, 2015, maybe 2015.
Oh,
And
cool.
I've known this cat for a long time. Didn't expect you to watch
Awesome.
the stream, Jason. So, but yeah, I like to give my characters. Yep. 2015. Thank you. Like I said, for my characters, I like to give them depth and everything. I like to give them like sense of accomplishment within their skills and abilities and powers. I like to give them different characteristics or different skills that the other character doesn't have, but the other character has different skills that they don't have, vice versa. So
Yeah.
that's what I love about it. You can go all out.
Yeah, indeed. Character creation is an art form, I guess you
Oh
could
yeah,
say.
it's amazing. You just have so much fun. I
Hmm.
think I got another question we can do before we can end this stream because I've got no more questions other than this last one.
Okay, sure.
Is there any not personal, but is there any, okay, yeah, personal connection that you have with TTTE or Tugs or any other favorite show you've loved since childhood?
Let me think. Well, I'm really not sure. Like, I guess, well, one quote unquote, I guess, personal thing is one connection I have with like Thomas, I guess you could say, is when I was little, I had a lot of those Ertl trains, and I got a lot of the copies of them because some of them got lost, some of them got broken, and my parents were just too nice to, get me some. So I'd have like something like 3 Henrys, like 4 Gordons, and a lot of Thomases or something like that.
Yeah.
But one thing I can remember, like later in life, my mom told me this. She said that she was always wondering. Well, one thing she mentioned was, I could write a book. I could write a book about you, and I could call it "Trains in My Bed," because she would always find like trains like sitting on the bed because I wouldn't move them because I'm a lazy little kid back then. Yeah,
Same.
yeah. So yeah, that's a little personal connection, I guess, there because all the trains and all that stuff. And during one summer, me and my parents, we went to Durango and Silverton for the summer back when they had this thing called a rail camp. And at rail camp, they had this box car that was, decked out to be kind of like a small like a small house. Like you have the kitchen, you have the living room, and then you have like bunk bed area where you could sleep. And they would
Yep.
like take you halfway up the line, then they'd park you off on this siding and leave you there for like about a week. This
Oh
siding was where
wow.
they would, yeah, this siding was where they would stop, turn the train around, and then go back down during the winter months when they wouldn't go all the way to Silverton.
That's okay.
And we went there and we stayed there for like a week. It was like really, really interesting and it was really nice. I enjoyed playing in the river, playing by the river. Never played in the river because it was a raging torrent, and my mom was always worried about me drowning or getting swept downstream. But anyways, and then after that, after rail camp was over, we came back to Durango just in time for a day out with Thomas. And so I rode up on Thomas there, up and down, and had a good time there too. And speaking of Thomas, the first time I ever went to Durango and Silverton with my dad for a trip, this was in the winter, and we were driving by the road, and I could see this engine that was sheeted up, covered. And I saw, the signature blue, 3 blue wheels on one side. I'm like, Dad, that's Thomas. And Dad was like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. And we had a little argument back and forth until we went in there like one night before we were going to take like the trip up up and they said, "Oh yeah, we actually had the Day Out with Thomas stuff." And Dad's like, "Hey Dustin, you were right." And I'm like, "Yeah, I knew I was right. Hurrah!"
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, I know.
My personal connection. Wow, we're already at 40 minutes. It's all good.
Great.
No worries. So my personal connection with Thomas, it gave me purpose to watch a TV show and to think, wow, this is something amazing because it's friendly, of course. I started learning the names. I started learning the history. Oh my God, my parents would always say to their other friends, saying Chase would tell you every single name and number of the engines like that, like that, because he's that damn good at it. And I would always be embarrassed, like, way to throw me under the bus. But I do love Thomas because one, it just gives me purpose to keep watching, except for the horrible disaster of a reboot, which we will not go into.
Yeah, the reboot can just go die in a hole where it belongs.
Yeah, because like whatever happened to just engines roaming on the track except jumping over.
It's soulless because they just think, oh, it's trains. Watch trains do not train things because train things are boring because kids are stupid and we want to entertain them because kids are dumb and they'll buy anything we want because we are the corporation and we know exactly what you want.
It's ridiculous.
No, you don't.
No. I mean, Chuggington had its limitations, but it never did that.
I never really saw Chuggington. I think I saw Chuggington once. I'm like, well, if you don't know what Thomas is, I guess this is a okay-ish substitute, but there's not a lot of substance to it. Like Thomas has deep substance. Chuggington's like, I'm like, well, it's good for, toddlers. So I'm like, yeah, it's not bad, but yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you. Now, Tugs and Theodore Tugboat, those two shows really.
Oh yeah. I didn't even know Tugs existed for a long time. Like eventually, I saw like people say, "Oh, Munitions! It was the most exciting thing." I'm like, "What is this show you're talking about?" I'm like, "What is this?" And I eventually, back when they only had like the I guess it was like the 20-minute or the 15-minute edit of Munitions. I'm like, "Wow, no wonder if people like this show."
Yeah. Now,
yeah,
Tugs was the sister show of Thomas.
I know. I've seen the whole Unlucky Tugs in-depth analysis of it, and it's actually surprising that it last as long as it did. And of course, sad what happened to it afterwards. Like with the props
they were supposed to do season 2 upriver, but they never did.
Yeah, and now of course the Star Tugs Trust is selfishly hoarding the scripts and the other cuts because they think, oh, we're a collector, we can't share it. We want to share it to a couple people for a limited time, and then after that, never again. I'm like, dude, it's a collection. Share it.
Share it, exactly. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Pardon my language, but still, it's BS. Like,
yeah,
God, just share it.
You can't take it with you after you die, and so why are you just hoarding something that everyone wants to enjoy, that everyone loves? Like, you're just being selfish.
To be honest, they could take it with them after they died, but just someone could just bury, like, dig up the copy from their tomb, and there you go. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's selfish.
Yeah.
So
I guess backtracking. Sorry to go back to me. I got a lot to say, I guess.
Same, but it's okay. We're here to talk.
All right.
To be honest, Tugs was great. I love Tugs. Hercules and Lily. How can you not ship them?
Totally.
I know.
Yeah.
They're so cute together.
Yeah, the Unlucky Tug certainly made that connection, and I'm like, oh, now I see. Yeah, definitely there is something going on between Hercules and Lily the Lightship, especially when Hercules like, oh, hi, Tencent. I was just here. Yeah,
I wasn't doing nothing. It wasn't like I was going over to kiss Lily on the cheek or anything.
Yeah, it's like Hercules and Lily are like two teenagers snuggled on the couch, and then the little brother comes home. He's like, "Oh, hi, little brother. What are you doing here?
Why is her hand on you?" Exactly.
I was just resting it there. Yeah.
Exactly. But no, I love their connection. I love them.
Yeah. I would have loved to see more of Hercules.
I'll send you a little thing that my friend made of. I think I'll send you something that my friend made later. We won't discuss it here. But
All right.
no, let me tell you, I love them. Big Mac, I love Big Mac. He's great. Warrior, he's just a cheeky dude. Top Hat, of course, he's a snob, but he's a good snob.
Oh, I say hello. Have you come to save the day?
If I can, I have to go back to Mistfield for a crane. I love him. And then there's Warrior. Tactical, strategical. Easier said than done. I heard my voice.
All doing well.
I actually did I was actually in a live stream on Google Hangouts years ago, in a Tugs live stream, and I played Warrior. My friend Andrew, who was friends back then, he played Top Hat. My buddy Michael played Big Mac, and someone else did Lily. Oh, that hurt my voice. So also Theodore Tugboat. I just can't go on, but I can say this, that Emily is one of my favorite characters in Theodore Tugboat.
Yeah, Emily was okay. I think yes. I don't have very many memories of Theodore Tugboat. It was kind of like
Man.
If you see Tugs, like Tugs is on the pedestal, and Theodore Tugboat's just a little bit below. But I'm like, Theodore Tugboat's pretty good.
It is.
And I'm like,
and now I'm pretty sure Jason would know what we're talking about, because me and Jason would always, every now and then, we would sing the Theodore Tugboat song, not in unison, but we would sing it. It's great. I love just reminiscing on old shows, right, Jason? If you see this, you know what I'm talking about. But no, it's great. Denny Doherty, he did a great job as the harbor master.
He sure did.
Yeah, I would if I could. his accent was great. It wasn't like a super strong Canadian accent, but it was there.
It's hinted, but it's enough that you could probably, it was probably unoffensive enough that American people couldn't say, "Oh, it's an obvious Canadian show." Oh, so it was enough to say, "Oh no, this could be an American show."
Yeah, but Canadian American, something like that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I think that's all the time we have for today in this stream. But
there was one thing I did want to mention, as I actually kind of remembered when we were talking about like other shows and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess you could say with the whole thing with Thomas, and then later I saw a couple Theodore Tugboat episodes, and then of course I saw Tugs. It's kind of what really got me into model making in the first place. I'm like, this looks real. This place, it looks so real. I want to go visit it, but it doesn't look real at the same time. Like there's like this artificiality to it. But I'm like, could you? And then I started seeing that other people were making models, model train stuff, and I'm like, you could do this. You could create this. I'm like, oh my god. Now I'm like, I want to do that myself, and that's kind of like what got me into model making, and and constantly improving my craft, because when you look at the models, you see more details and more things are like, wow, that's so intricate. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. One sec.
Yeah, and that was the last thing.
Right, check the private chat. But no, I appreciate everyone stopping by and checking it out. Again, it's not really the best stream in the world, but it's definitely not the worst. But I do appreciate everyone stopping by, checking it out. We will try to do more streams in the future if we can and when we can, because I won't force this guy to join if he doesn't want to, right?
Sure. I'd like to do more streams when time permits, of course, but yeah.
Of course. We just got to schedule them, because we scheduled this like what?
Sometime last week.
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this stream. We will definitely try to do more in the future, maybe with someone else or someone else at it. I don't know. We will definitely see. I hope y'all enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that. I'm going to do some more voices that I can try the best I can. And yeah, hope y'all enjoy. I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.